the same thing, Commissioner, like they did in Orlando, where the case with Oladipo, remember, when Oladipo wasn't sure whether he was going to play or not, and then the NBA stepped in and said, hey, no play, no salary. You know, so...
But again, alam natin yan, that is the reality of merong mga maliliit na sweldo, kailangan ng kumita. But on the other side of the spectrum, alam natin yung mga team owners din, Homer. From what I've read, there is a projected 9 billion revenue for the NBA. 50% of that is of course on TV, 10% is on merchandising, and 40% is on ticket sales. Ngayon, napapasok ang NBA na meron pa rin pandemya, and the cases in the US are rising. How does that affect the owners on the other side? Na mawawala itong fans, or is the NBA thinking of allowing fans in the new season?
No, they will follow the science, and as long as there's no vaccine, they would be limited. Ang sabi nga, the last time I heard was that i-allow lang nilang suites, Commissioner.
Yung mga private.
Yes, private suites, and because you can easily monitor or like what temperature takes and all that. Kumbaga sa you rein in. It's easier than allowing like 5,000 people once they're inside the arena. How do you control them when they do not socially distance, when they do not wear a socially responsible mask? But if you're in a confined environment like a suite, when you allow only 20 people, then you can monitor because you can see them in the suite. So yun lang, and plus also the suites are very expensive. But to give you an example, when Manny Pacquiao was in Los Angeles before the Mayweather fight, he was thinking of buying a suite to watch the game for his family members, his children, and all that stuff. And isang suite in a Clippers game is north of $25,000. It only allows about 30 people, but you get free beer, free hot dogs, and all that stuff. So, mahal yun. So the NBA is targeting. Can you imagine, if you can sell 10 suites in one game, that's $250,000. That's more than what you make in the regular, in the tickets in courtside, where you have like 100 people paying $1,000 each.
Plus, of course, in the new NBA season, there will be protocols that will follow. Hindi naman sila kagaya ng ibang regular na mga liga na lahat ito mga to naka-chartered plane. So wala silang problema sa home and away. I guess that's the expectation, Homer?
Yes, that is. Because and speaking of the losses in the NBA, we've already seen it. Kasi ang Utah Jazz, when the Miller family who have owned the Utah for the last 35 years, Commissioner, they've owned the franchise. And they sold it. And the reason was the pandemic. The losses were just impossible to, it was just so hard to keep your employees at the same time. Kasi yung Utah, they also own their own arena. They own so many, other teams like the WNBA team, the G League team. And so it's an effect because then there's no income. And another owner that's really being hit hard is Mickey Arison of the Miami Heat.
Miami Heat,
Because Mickey Arison's main business is the cruise line.
Cruise ship. Cruise liners.
He is being killed. The Miami Herald has done so many stories about, there was even a story in the Miami Herald that he was contemplating on selling the Miami Heat.
Wow.
To cover some of the losses. So, it is a misnomer. Not really a misnomer, but, like guys like Mark Cuban, who's, buying the Dallas Mavericks because he has, it's like toy. But with other owners that this is your business, like Jeannie Buss, the Lakers, that is their bread and butter, Dallas Mavericks.
Okay, so all of the schedules, because of all of these things, have been moved up. Ang training camp, ang free agency, ang moratorium on trades, lahat yan nagalaw na ngayon, Homer. And when you look at this now, who do you think are the players that are most likely to move? May pinag-uusapan ngayon, we're looking at Jrue Holiday, pinag-uusapan yan, Aaron Gordon, even Devin Booker, even James Harden, na baka napunta sa Philadelphia 76ers. Sabi ko, ayoko si James Harden.
Yeah.
Seriously, ano sa tingin mo, ang galawan ngayon? Is there a possibility that really players will start moving around quickly?
Not necessarily, but it would affect. Like for instance, if you're Jordan Clarkson, you are a free agent and you have a new ownership. And Ryan Smith, who bought the franchise from the Millers, will pay $1.8 billion to to acquire the Utah Jazz. And if you're putting that kind of money, how sure are you na you have to invest another, say, 60 million for Jordan Clarkson? And same thing with the Milwaukee Bucks. There is no income coming. The Milwaukee Bucks are bleeding just like any other small market team in the NBA. Then you have to pay Giannis Antetokounmpo $279 million next season. So
apektado ang players talaga in terms of the salaries.
yeah, of course, because the meat, the fulcrum of the NBA salary is called basketball revenue income. That is where the owners get the money to pay the salaries of their players. And with no BRI, basketball-related income, wala. So it's hard.
Ano yung tinatawag nilang player escrow? Very quickly, ano yung ibig sabihin nun, Homer?
Well, they will just hold money that is due to the players until things normalize. Yun lang, parang
Hindi mo na nila ibibigay yung pera, hindi mo na nila ibibigay.
Yeah, that money is, but it's there, it's gonna be there, but it's not gonna be given until things normalize. And
Is that still one of those outstanding issues ng Players Association?
yes, of course, because if you're an insurance guy, you always say, I want my money now. But like I said, if you're on the side of the NBA owners, mahirap because there's no money coming in. And just like in business, if you're a school administrator, how are you gonna keep the lights on if there's no tuition?
So, given all of these things, do you think that the NBA restart ultimately will benefit the league and will become successful?
Yes and no. If you're a player like LeBron James, you're 37 or 35 years old, you're going to have only 71 days to rest. You have 50,000 miles or minutes on your knees. So if you're LeBron, you'd rather have that long rest. And nakita mo naman sa NBA bubble, even sa PBA bubble, there are more injuries to be fair. So that was also a factor. And the PBA is not as rigorous as the NBA, where they have a 72-game schedule. So that's another thing. But like I said, this reminds me of the Lewis Tyson fight when Lewis was